Hey, welcome to Mike's Trains, and thanks for joining me for another video. In this part of this series, last week we weathered this building, okay, and we got the interior painted, and I added some more of that instant age stuff with the Q-tip, and I made some oil spots on the floor. What we need to do now is actually add the interior to this. So what we need to do first is divide off the space. We need to put a wall across here and then a wall down this line, and you can see I have some numbers in here, and these are the lengths of the wall pieces that I need. So going this way it's 2 7/8, going this way it's 1 13/16. I'm actually going to cut them a little big so that I can fine-tune them into place. But I need to cut the styrene that's going to make the walls. And here's what I have. So I have more of this 40,000 sheet styrene. This is another piece out of my scrap bin. And I've painted just over an inch up flat white. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to mark this off to 1 inch. All right, and we're going to cut that off. So we now have our interior wall here, and this painted side is the side that faces the garage. Now, because I've already painted this, there's a little raised edge at the top of this that I would normally take my flat blade and scrape that off, but I'll put that at the top. I don't want to scrape it because I don't want to tear up the paint that's on there. We're going to cut that off, and we're gonna leave that raised edge to the top of the wall so that it doesn't really show. So now we're just gonna mark this off this way. Like that. Now this one I'm not going to clamp, just going to lay it on top, and it won't score so hard. We'll take it slow, like that. And then this should fit right underneath here. See, now we're a little bit high, so you can see that it's bowed and all. So let me get my sandpaper, and we need it to fit underneath this cleat here on both sides. So let's take care of the height first. And now we fit right underneath. Now this needs to go centered up right in the middle there to over here, and we're just a little bit tight, so now we're going to sand this way. So that's going to go just like that. So now we have a divider, and I just want to make sure it's straight. Now we need the divider that's going to go this way. Okay, so we're going to mark this off here. And then we're going to flip it around this way. And we're going to mark it off here. Now this piece here, again, like I said, it's painted flat white, but it doesn't matter which way it goes because this is going to get covered. So let's just get this put in here and see how this fits. So that's going to go just like that. Alright. So now you have our showroom. This area here is where we're going to pass the wiring down through for the lighting. And you know, we have our garage area. So that's what it looks like, and that's how that's going to be. So we can I'm going to pull these back out, and I'll show you the next step that we're going to go to. Okay, so the walls for inside the showroom, I've already made these, and if you want to see how I did this, I'll put a link. You can check up in the corner of the video, and there'll be a link to how I printed all of these. This is with that Model Train software program. But I made these. It's a wainscot wall. I have sliding doors as office doors to the rooms where you would go to talk financing and all that kind of stuff. I have some car posters on the walls. Now this is the back wall. This wall right here is this back wall. This wall is this little side wall right here on the inside. Okay, and then I made this door, which will get put onto this side to coincide with this door. Now this other thing you see here, this is a snap-on tool chest. I went online and I got an image of it, and I scaled it down, and I printed that as well. This will go into the garage. This is going to be the tool chest that goes in the garage. And I have some other stuff in the garage, but we'll talk about that later. So let's get these walls put together. Now, I also made, hold on, before we go there, I also made this floor section. This is marble flooring, and I did the tiles, marble tile, the same as I did these and in the other program. So we're going to set this down in there first, I think. Actually, let's cut these out and get them applied to these pieces here first. Let's start with that. So what I have is a paper cutter right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these off. Okay, so now I have my wall sections, and we're going to take this longer wall first. And I'm going to peel the backing, and we're going to stick this right on here like this. Okay, and then I'm going to trim off the extra. Now we have an interior wall. Okay, so that'll go in there like that. And if you look at the wall, I chose an interior picture for the offices that actually show lighting at the top, and it's a lit up room, so we get the illusion of there being an actual room there. Okay, it's exactly what we're looking for. So let's place this one next. Now I cut this one, made this one a little bit differently. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to push this wall all the way over as far as I can, like that. See, that puts the car picture here right to the edge of the wall, because some of this is going to end up behind the other wall. So we're going to take this, okay, so this is what we end up with when you're looking into there. This is what you have. There's the door out to the garage, and you have the side offices, which I think look actually pretty darn good. Very happy with that. Okay, so now I want to get the floor in there. And what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to mark this way. Get my pencil. We're going to mark this here. So I'm going to cut this on this line right here. Alright, now I want to pull out these walls one more time, and what we need to do is, once this is in here, we need to notch this for the doorway right here so that the tile comes out to the end. So we're looking to cover all the way out to the edge here. So to do that, I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to put a mark here. That's absolutely just exactly what we're looking for. So now the tile comes all the way out to the edge, which is what we're looking for. And then on this side, see, I should have cut this one first. You know what we'll do is I'll piece in a piece right here. Okay, so let's place this tile, this floor in. Okay, so this is what we end up with. We have a nice shiny floor, and it comes out. This is why we didn't worry about painting this little end sticking out here. And then we have tile that comes all the way out to the edge over here. Alright. So now we can install the walls. And for the walls, I'm going to use a little bit of CA on that, I think. I can't use the actual the liquid glue I've been using because I don't want to mess up the decals or the stickers that I put in there. So let's do a little bit of CA. So let's start. I'm going to start with this wall here. Alright, so now you can kind of see what's going on here. Here's what we have. So we've got a nice little showroom with the sales offices right in there. Alright, so we're looking pretty good. Except now we're missing a door in the garage, so that's why we have the other door in the sheet. So let me get my stuff together and we'll get that one cut out and install that as well. Okay, so I finished gluing in the our interior walls here, so you can see what we've got. So you can see the sales offices and all that stuff. And I put in also the one garage door that goes into the showroom. Okay, so that's now in there. Now we just have a garage to detail. Okay, so let's get this going. Now, I've already done some of it, and that tool chest that was in the sheet of sticker paper is right here. So what I did was I have some balsa wood kind of stuff here, and I cut a small piece off of this. And I stuck the sticker paper to it, the tool chest, and then I painted the ends of the wood red to match the tool chest, and I did the top in the center white to match the walls. So this is what we end up with. So now we got a decent looking tool chest to go into the garage, and it actually works out because on the bottom where the wheels go, it shows white behind it, and that's the color of our walls. Surprise, surprise, it all goes together. So this is going to fit in the back. This will go in, kind of center that up in the wall like this, and that will end up looking like that. So now we have a mechanic's tool chest in the back of the room. Now what I want to add to this on either side is a shelf. I want to put a countertop. So for that, I have some strip styrene here, and I'm gonna add a shelf to either side like this. We're gonna glue that in with CA onto either side, and then we'll put the whole thing in and CA it right to the back wall. So now we have the two shelves. They're not at the same height, but that's okay. They're close enough, and that's going to work. Now the only thing I want to do with those shelves is I'd like to paint them silver. I think we'll go with a silver. Alright, so we've got this all painted up. My brush is cleaned. Now we can put this into the garage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of CA, and I'm just going to run it down the back of the wood. It doesn't need a lot, it's just got to get held into place. So I'm just going to put a little bit in the middle of this, and then we're going to drop this right in there. And actually I think I'm going to use tweezers because my fingers are too big. So we'll put this right in there like that. Squeeze that right onto the back wall. Okay, so there we go. There's our garage with the tool chest. And some shelves on it, and some countertops on the sides. Okay, and I think that looks pretty good. Now we're going to go one step further than this. Okay, what I have now, this is not something you can get a hold of regularly or easily. I had a kit for something, I don't remember what it was, but it came with a lot of garage tools with it. And what I have is this thing here. This is a car lift. Alright, so if you take the little car, and it sits right up on top of the lift. So this is going to sit right over here like this. Okay, that'll sit in there like that. But I'm going to do that one step better. We're going to raise this lift so that there is a car in the air in the garage. So we can dump that out, and what I'm going to do is I have some rod here, and I'm going to glue the rod right to the bottom of this, and then we got to figure out how high this needs to be. So we need a scale ruler. So let's say the whole thing, we'll make the whole pole 4 feet high, and then the car sits just above that. So 4 feet right there. So we're going to cut this off. Now hopefully my chopper isn't dull and we can just cut right through this without squishing it. But that's what we're going to do. Just like that. Okay. So now we have the pole that's going to lift the car off the ground right here. Okay, so that's going to lift the car. So now we need to put the lift on top of that. And to do that, we need some more CA. And we're going to set this right up on here. And then we're going to set this, and we're going to center this up right underneath it here. Like that. And then this whole thing will sit Let's see if we can get a look at how this is going to be. So if this whole thing goes into the garage, like right like that. It's hard to get a look at that, but you get the idea that this is going to sit in here and it's going to be in the air. And then I think I have some people waving both hands, which will be just absolutely awesome to put underneath a car. So anyway, that's the idea for this. This thing just does not want to cooperate. There we go. So that'll go like that, right? So now you have a car in the air. Now if I put a person right next to it over here, you know, or right behind it, you get the idea that there's a person sitting there. Now this needs to get painted. I'm not going to do that now. I want all of this to dry up and settle in. But this is going to get painted yellow, and then this pole here will get painted silver and then darkened up with some instant age and some weathering. Put some grease around the post here. And the same with this, yellow and then aged up and dirtied up nicely. And then this will sit right in there. And then the bay right next to it will stay kind of like it is. So you have a lift bay, and then you have a regular flat bay. And that's basically the whole interior. So when you're looking at this side of it, whoops, you have cars. I want to put 2 cars in the showroom. So we'll sit one in like this. And then we'll have another one right in here. And then that's our showroom. Yeah, that's going to look, whoops, that's going to look pretty darn good, I think. Like this. Yeah, just like that. And that's our whole showroom. And then another car facing the other way in there. And that's how we're going to do it. And then you have the mechanics thing there. And then I think we have a pretty sweet little used car dealer. So we're almost to the finish line with this building here. Almost to the finish line. So next week we're going to tackle the lighting and get all the glass in and the doors in and everything else. And then this thing is pretty much done. Yeah, so I think that's going to be it for this week. If you just found me for the first time, please by all means subscribe. Love to have you along following what I'm doing. You know, subscribe and see what's going on. So until next time, happy modeling.